Hello, everyone. We are the Vinyl Community Gunkles. We are here to review another album, as we sometimes will do. And this one is a gift that was given to me from Chris Burt, who has the YouTube channel CBCDs. And he was nice enough to just send me this out of the blue. It's Yola Tengo and their 2013 album called Fade. So, what do I do with free gifts? Do I just trash them, or do I say how amazing this is? And you'll also hear from the other three as well. But yeah, it's time to review this album. Nobody really sends me records. I know that there's BCLT videos all over YouTube, and people are just have this little circle of friends that just are constantly sending each other records. But it rarely happens.
Craig sent me an album once.
Yeah.
And you sent me albums before.
But it was my birthday, so that doesn't count.
Steve Carson sent me a record once, which was very nice of him. But that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, Yola Tango Fade, we will review that. We are the Vinyl Community Gunkles. I'm Robert Fithen, along with Richard from Calvin Wazoo, Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora. Ladies and gentlemen, the man that it sometimes takes three to Yola Tango. It's Mike from Hubtunes.
Yeah, that was clever.
I just thought of that, just right off the spur.
That's pretty good.
Spur of the moment.
Okay. Excuse my cough. I'm going to try and get through this. Fade, Yola Tango. They have 19 records. They've been around for decades. I wouldn't say, probably one of my favorite bands. I've always really liked them. I really like their early stuff. The first 5 records are really good. But I still, when they release a new album, I always buy it. And this one kind of falls right in the middle of their careers. 2013, and I think it's underrated. I think it's underrated. People don't talk about this record, in the Yola Tango groups and people, who like Yola Tango. This is one that doesn't come up often. I wouldn't say any one of their albums blows me away. They're all really good. They all have high points and low points, just like this one. But this one has always stuck out with me as one of my favorites. I've always really liked it. The opener, excellent. Is That Enough is a good, nice little number. Well You Better, a good little ditty. They're very good at ditties. Every album has one kind of fun, I don't want to say Paul McCartney song, but you know what I mean. But then the album kind of falls, Paddle Forward is okay, and Stupid Things are just okay. But the second side, I absolutely love the second side. I'll Be Around, Cornelia and Jane is a great song on the second side. And my favorite song on the whole record is Two Trains. Really, really good. I just dig their sound. The point of it is excellent. And Before We Run closes the record. I just love the second side of this record. I like the first side, but there's those two songs kind of at the end of the first side where I'm kind of they're all right, but they're not highlights of the record for me. But the second side, I love all the way through. I've always really liked this record. It's one that I gravitate towards in their catalog. It's definitely in my top 2 or 3 probably. But like I said, they don't have any albums for me that really stick out. That's their best album. That's their masterpiece. This band has 19 freaking albums, and I can guarantee you, I can't think of one that I would say that's their Sgt. Pepper. That's the best they've ever done. That's the best they'll ever do. But they make solid records, and every one of them I just really dig. And this is no exception. I give this. I'll give it 4 rainbows. I've always liked this record a lot.
I've never listened to Yola Tango before. This was my first opportunity. So when I started listening to it, my first reaction with that first song, I was like, wow, what the hell's going on here? This is all these things happening going on with that song. And then as I listened through the whole album, I was like, wow, there's such it's like this blending of all these other musical styles and sounds from bands, but it's done in a very you very original way. It never really sounded reductive,
Yeah.
but I definitely heard influences of Stereolab, of Neil Young, of Velvet Underground, of Peter Green, Flaming Lips, even, and even Iggy Pop. I mean, all these things were happening in the songs. And at my first listen, I was kind of like, you know, yeah, I was just kind of like, wow, what did I just finish listening to? And then with the subsequent listenings, I started, you know, checking some things out. But then I kept thinking, what? This isn't psychedelic music. This isn't like, shoot. It finally dawned on me during my second listening. This is hippie music. That's what it is. It's freaking hippie music. It's just got this carefree air about it that I don't know. I really like. I love the opener Ohm, and I also like the way they spell it, like Ohm resistance,
Yeah.
as opposed to Ohm the chant. You know, and they even mention that in the lyrics. You know about the resistances. What is it? I looked it up. Resisting the flow, resisting the flow. You know, things don't always go great, man, but you just got to resist the flow. You know, that kind of thing. In the next song, Is That Enough? I mean, that's almost a dead ringer for Western Hero from Neil Young on Sleeps with Angels, that melody part. But then at the same time, they're throwing in this Velvet Underground feel that made me think of, I think it's making me think of I'll Be Your Mirror, the way the vocals are, the way the singing is. Yeah, Well, You Better. It's a good song, but it was kind of weak. I did love Paddle Forward, Dream Poppy, Shoegaze, Stupid Thing. That opening of the guitar, it reminded me of the opening to the Clint Eastwood movie Unforgiven. That style of acoustic guitar, just very plaintive, maybe is the word. I don't know. It was just, so simple. But then it comes in like a train, and that's where I get a real Peter Green feel coming in with that. I totally agree with you. Side B is the better side. Every single song on side B was like a number 5 for me. I'll Be Around has got that definite Peter Green vibe to it. And apparently that song was used in the Richard Linklater film Boyhood.
Really?
An interesting story about it. Apparently it started off as a really hard, fast jam. And as they played it, it gradually became softer and softer and softer and softer and softer until that's what you get on there. Cornelia and Jane just oozed with atmosphere. It's just, it's like there's this shadowy figure in the fall, like it's an autumn day that's kind of misty, and that's another thing I like about those songs, is that their lyrics are ambiguous enough you don't have to pinpoint it on a particular what they're singing about. It's very, very open. 2 Trains was like Iggy Pop and Velvet Underground together to me. I mean, that's what I wrote down. And the point of it is just this lovely, lovely song about, cheering our imperfections. And Before We Run, and that's the weakest song on the entire side to me, is that closer, but it's still a fantastic song. So I'm like, okay, if this is Yo La Tengo, I feel like I've been missing out. And because I've never heard anything from them before. There was nothing about them that ever stood out or demanded my attention, And maybe what you were saying, Mike, is maybe that's kind of the thing, is that everything is kind of like it's an even flow throughout their catalog, maybe. But to me, this is a 4.5. This is a 4.5 rainbow album for me.
This is also my introduction to Yola Tango, which means I've got it or I have it, and some baseball guy said it at a baseball game, and I don't know, some New York baseball game, and because the other guy couldn't speak English, or I don't know. I read about it. I just was like, oh, that's where you got this from? Okay. Also interesting, this band has had in their career has had 14 different bass players.
Really?
14 different bass players. So the only two mainstays since 1984 have been Ira Kaplan and Georgia Hubley, who are married. I learned that too. And Georgia plays the drums. I always love a chick drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my introduction as well. When I turned it on, I was like, okay, what am I getting myself into? And then just as it went through, it just gradually got better and better and better. And speaking of well, You Better, that is the song that I was like, okay, this is who this guy's voice reminds me of, but maybe the other person reminds me of his voice because he's been around longer. But anyways, especially the song Well You Better, like really big Bell and Sebastian vibes in that song. And I heard Stuart Murdoch a lot in my I heard him throughout the album. I kind of felt like their voices are very similar. So I guess it would be Stuart copying Ira or whatever, but I don't know why it just kind of reminded me of maybe how I felt when I first heard Bell and Sebastian, and just kind of the poppiness and kind of the way the lyricism is. And but yeah, Yola Tango, I thought it was a mariachi band, or I thought it was something like the Gypsy Kings or something like that. So I didn't feel that I needed to ever invest. I mean, I knew they weren't, but it was just kind of like, oh, I don't know what this Yola Tango is. And
we should review more mariachi albums.
We probably should.
Definitely need to.
Something, or Gypsy Kings. I don't
or Freddie Fender. We need Freddie Fender on here.
Oh, yeah. Freddie Fender. Yes, I would do that in a heartbeat. And then there were a couple songs. I think it was Cornelia and Jane, and then the closer Before We Rain that Georgia actually does the lead vocals. I think it's those two songs. I was in the car, so
the point of it, I believe.
Oh, the point of it is her? Okay, I thought it was the closer, but maybe not. I do know there was a couple of songs that she did.
Yeah, she sings usually one or two songs per album.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that.
Actually has better. I think she has the better voice.
Yeah, and they're very well together too. Like they're blending and all of that is great. I really quite enjoy it. So, I would actually probably get this album. I don't know if I'm gonna like invest in the time of like checking the back catalog or the forward catalog or anything like that. I don't know that I want to be that invested, but as for this album, I really enjoyed it. Glad that I finally like got to hear this band. Oh, and then the album was also recorded in Chicago, by the way.
Right.
Soma, I don't know what Soma is, but that's where it was recorded.
John McIntyre.
Yeah, I think that was all my little notes there. So I shall also give Fade by Yola Tango for Darling Rainbows.
Ooh, darling.
All right. Well, it's definitely my third or fourth. It might be my fourth. It's definitely at least my third Yola Tango album that I'm hearing. It's the only one I've ever owned. And thanks to Chris Burt, by the way, I have a bunch of Yola Tango CDs as well now. But this was the one record that he sent. And so I heard the recent one. Was not a fan of that at all. Reviewed that a couple of years ago. Didn't like that. I heard the one from 91, I think it was 91. That one was much better. And this one is better than either of those. So I really enjoyed this one. The one from 91 was okay. This one was really good. I really liked the first song, Om. I love the opening line about, how sometimes the bad guys win and the good guys lose. And that's called life. If the good guys are winning and they win, you're probably watching a movie or a TV show. In life, the bad guys always win. Always. 100%. Pays to be bad. Teach your children that. They'll get ahead in life. Just be evil. Just screw people over. Just be a complete asshole. That's who comes out on top. Nice guys finish last. So I like that song. I love the orchestration in it. I love the acoustic. Everything is acoustic. You got the violins. You got, of course, the acoustic guitar. It works really, really well. It's a great opener. And that's my favorite on here, along with the final song. So my favorite two songs are bookended on this album. Before We Run, I think it's a great closer as well. Brings back the orchestration. There's just such a mellow vibe to this whole album with basically a lot of acoustic guitar and this really low vocal that's way down here, and you can sometimes even barely hear what he's singing.
Yeah.
It's got a quiet intensity to it in a few tracks where the acoustic guitar is kind of pulsing along. I agree that side 2 is superior to side 1. I do really like the Om song though. I think I like that better than anything else on the album. But Before We Run is a close second, and then everything else on side 2, especially the Cornella and Jane. Especially, I wasn't as big of a fan, I think, of Two Trains, but the Cornella and Jane, just this whole album really doesn't have any like dive down low points where, oh my God, that's the skippable track. It works as an entire experience. And the experience you want to have, where if you have a fireplace, you would put this on. If you have it's great night listening. I don't think it works as well if you're on a Wednesday afternoon driving to the grocery store or something. That's not what this is for. This is for a quiet evening.
I did that.
Not unless you're shrooming.
Yeah. Windows open on a nice breezy night or something like that. It's a great mood piece. A great album to just kind of set the atmosphere, set a tone, and just go with it. You don't really pay attention, I think, to a lot of the lyrics because, like I said, a lot of them are kind of so low that it's hard to decipher what's going on unless you're really, get some headphones on or something like that. But a great record too. As I'm doing my deep dives on my channel, I'm listening. I'm trying to be as comprehensive as possible going through individual years, and that means a lot of streaming albums that I don't have, which I didn't really do a lot of before on my channel. Everything was on my channel. I would have it, whether it was a record or a CD, and I'd show it. That's what vinyl community channels, you show the record and you talk about the record. A lot of what I've been doing lately, though, I don't have it. I've been streaming it. So I've been listening in my car. I've been listening walking along the St. Louis, Mississippi riverfront. I've been listening, whatever. I listen to shit mowing the grass, believe it or not. And so just all of this different types of thing, with the earbuds or the headphones on or driving along or whatever. But this makes a great record. It really is something that I'm glad I have on a record and not just streaming. Some of the streaming stuff, it's like, I could have this on a CD. I could have this on a stream. I don't need the album. It's pretty good, but I don't need a record of this. This, I'm getting more and more choosy too, because I have all of this shit. And we're all getting older. I'm getting much more particular about what I have on records. And I'm starting to now get rid of records that are actually in my collection, as opposed to just getting rid of ones that I've gotten by buying a collection and, I don't want these. I'm actually starting to dig records out that I've had for 30 years and get rid of them, which I've never done before. Hello, Matthew Wilder. The fuck?
You don't want to break your stride.
Yeah, I do. I don't break that fucking record. It's worth like $2. Who the hell wants it? But this is one that I'm glad I have on a vinyl record. That's what this is made for. And I will give it 4 rainbows.
4
Thank you, Chris Burt.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
And for the Coco Taylor CD.
It's also not too long. For 2013, you'd think they jammed like 2 or 3 more songs.
Right. It's not
It's
this
perfect
double album
length.
bullshit with 15-minute long side. This is an actual album that's meant to be a record album. That's another reason to have it on a record. Good
5
point.
songs on each side. That's all you
Yeah.
need. Boom. It's done and it's over. It doesn't feel like it's outstayed its welcome, as they say.
Right.
Yeah.
16. Who did the half?
I did.
Richard.
Richard.
Oh, 4.5. Okay, right. All right. Well, that is Yo La Tengo's Fade, gifted to me by Chris Burt. Check out his channel, CBCDs.
Yeah.
Straight out of Utah.
Crazy man. Oh no. Crazy motherfucker named Chris Burt.
So yeah, that's what we think about that one. But next, what will we be listening to? Craig has the answer.
Oh, what are we going to be listening to next? Surprising. All right. So this is from 1987, and that would be
Whitney.
David Sylvian with The Secret of the Beehive.
Yes.
Okay. Didn't see that.
What was the lead vocalist for Japan?
Japan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, David Sylvian. I thought we were going with like New York Dolls, but apparently we're going with
No.
Sylvie. No. So yeah, that's Craig's choice. We'll be reviewing that one next time. We'll also be talking about our favorite various artists' soundtracks coming up as well. So you don't want to miss that episode too. And probably another year where we talk about the tops and bottoms in music. We don't know what year that is yet, but that is coming up as well. So you want to tune in. You don't really tune in. You want to just basically click on those videos.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, they
watch
could
them when
tune
they
in
are
Tokyo.
available. Yeah, we're old. Tune in. Roll down the window. Pick up the phone. We are the Vinyl Community Gunkles. I'm Robert Fithen with
Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Craig's Vinyl Plethoras.
Mike at Upstairs.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Talk to you later.
After these messages,
Mm.
we'll be right back.
Look for the Union label.